Now, we do talk more than just sports and football results and everything like that. We like to look at how we can improve ourselves as people, how we can improve our health and our everyday life. And one of the things I should really do is buy an alarm clock so my phone doesn't let me down in the morning. But we also have to think about exactly what we're putting into our body. We can't be eating McDonald's the whole time. We can't be eating KFC. But it's about putting things that are green into your body and keeping a healthy lifestyle. So I'm delighted to say that joining me now on the program on Sportuccino from thelittleplantation.co.uk is Kimberly Espinel, joins me live on the program. Good morning, Kimberly.
Good morning.
Great to have you on. I know you're a very busy person with your son and everything you've got going on, so I'm really glad you've made the time for us this morning.
My pleasure.
So tell us about thelittleplantation.co.uk.
So the Little Plantation is really a plant-based food blog. So I blog about plant-based foods, vegan foods, I suppose, but the emphasis really is on whole foods because vegan food can be unhealthy as well, but it's really focused on whole foods, vegetables, fruits, that kind of thing.
So is this something you've always done throughout your whole life?
So I've been a vegetarian really since I was 10 years old. I kind of decided one day I didn't want to eat meat anymore. And, but I was actually a really unhealthy vegetarian. So I ate lots of pasta and pizza and lots of cheese, lots of sweets. And then kind of after I had my son, actually, I had some kind of health niggles. And I was like, let me investigate that. So I did lots of research and kind of looked into the link of, how does eating dairy affect your body, et cetera, et cetera. And so I cut that out and also shifted more towards whole foods. And that really changed my life. So that's when I started the blog.
Yeah, no, that is very interesting. What was the most alarming thing you found when you were doing all of this research?
So, I'd always thought that if you eat lots of dairy, it's super good for your teeth, it's super good for your bones. And what I didn't actually know is that when you eat cheese in particular or milk, that actually it changes kind of the chemical composition in your body. So it creates like a sort of acidic environment. Meats can do that as well. And also that cheese has particular hormones in it. So as a woman, it's something you need to be really careful of. And because of my kind of genetic background and things like certain cancers being quite prevalent, I felt that for me, that wasn't the right way forward. So I've moved to kind of more plant-based milks, so almond milk, usually homemade, or seed milks. And those just work better for me.
Oh, fantastic. So right now, what is your favorite recipe that you're talking about on the blog?
Oh, well, you know what? It varies. Usually it's the last one that I've done. I think that's the best one. But one of the most popular ones actually is my Colombian black bean stew. I love that one very much. I also have a 15-minute chickpea curry, which is incredibly popular. So I'd say probably those two.
So for people who don't know enough about being vegetarian or vegan and things like that, immediately when I think about it, I'm thinking I'm not going to be full, or I'm not going to have enough protein in my body to go to the gym or do things like that. What have you learned about things like that? Because of course you're a yoga teacher as well. So how do you get the energy in your body? Because you also mentioned, for example, that when you first became a vegetarian, you were doing lots of pasta, and now you've kind of cut out that as well. So what should we be eating then in your lifestyle, which can also help us lead an active life?
So, I mean, I have to say, for me, the type of sport that I do, aka yoga, I don't use any kind of protein powders. But if you're kind of trying to build muscle. So if you're into weights and those sorts of things, maybe a vegan protein powder would work for you. But generally speaking, if you eat whole foods and you eat kind of an array of different colors, then really your protein should be completely covered. I mean, it's really a myth that you can't get enough protein through plant-based foods. And also the kind of recommended protein level keeps changing. So the government keeps changing it. And as I said before, if you eat things like whole grains, lentils, beans, you should be okay.
The government keeps changing it. What do you think it should be?
Oh gosh, I don't know. As I said, I think instinctively, if you eat, if you eat a meal and it has lots of different components. So it has a whole grain in it. It has a legume in it, so a bean, a lentil, that kind of thing. And you feel full afterwards, then you should be okay. I think at the moment it's something like one, per kilo, one gram of protein per kilo of weight, something like that. So, if that's where things are at the moment, then I'm fine. But I think after the Second World War, that kept changing. So it's slightly arbitrary, really.
Now, I was looking at your Twitter earlier, and those vegan pancakes look to die for, and I didn't have any yesterday, so I want to go and have some pancakes. But what was so great is the photos on your Twitter page and on littleplantation.co.uk look amazing. Is this something you've always had a passion for, of taking photos of food?
No, because if you look back at my earliest blog posts, you'll see that my pictures weren't great at all. But it's something that's developed. So what I really wanted was to show off how sexy and how cool vegetarian food can be. And I thought, well, if I take naff pictures, no one's going to believe me. So I really worked on that. And so much so I did lots of courses. And now I teach food photography. In fact, I teach one-to-one classes, but also group classes. And we've got something coming up at the end of March. We've still got one spot left if anyone's interested.
Fantastic. Well, we'll give you time at the end of this to plug everything from websites to social media to everything like that. So hopefully some people can learn to take better pictures than I take when I do product reviews for Sportuccino. But let's not get into that. Where was I going next? Yoga. I wanted to talk about yoga. How long have you been doing yoga, and what benefits have you found to it for your life?
So I think I've been doing yoga now for about 10, 11 years. So yeah, a long time. I love it. I mean, I have to say, when I was a kid, I used to dance. So, I've always been into kind of body work, that kind of thing, and flexibility. So then when I got too old for dancing, I found yoga, and it was just a really easy, nice, beautiful transition. I love the fact that it's, holistic. So although I mentioned flexibility, it's not just about flexibility, it's also about strength. And in fact, it's kind of about maintaining that balance between the two.
How long do you think it takes for someone to become half good at yoga? Because I did one class and immediately the lady said to me, "You are not very flexible, Rich." And I was like, I know, that's why I'm here.
Well, I would say, I would maybe rephrase that question, because good at yoga doesn't necessarily mean being flexible.
Okay.
Good at yoga means being able to still and calm the mind. And we use flexibility and strength to really, it sounds a little bit airy-fairy, but essentially you're trying to create channels so that energy can flow freely through the body, and so that you can still the mind. So you can do that even if you're not super flexible, if that makes sense. But normally I usually find that if people come consistently once to twice a week for 3 months, they'll start noticing a real tangible difference.
Okay. How often do you do yoga?
About 3 times a week. Before I had my son, I was hardcore, about 5 times, but since then I've gone down to 3 times a week.
5 times a week? You sound like a CrossFit competitor. They're the only ones to do 5 times a week. All right, Kimberly, it's been great to learn all of that, but let's learn a little bit more about you personally. Let's play 5 favourite things. I don't have the list in front of me, so I'm probably going to forget what the 5 are, but we'll make our way as we go. So okay. Are you ready, Kimberly?
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's go with favourite book.
The God of Small Things.
Favourite film.
Oh, those are hard questions.
That's what we do. We ask the hard questions.
The Sound of Music.
Pardon, Kimberly. Sorry, I interrupted
you. The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music. Lovely.
Yeah.
Favourite city.
London. I love London.
Favourite song.
I like Ed Sheeran's new song, "Piece of You." I really like that one.
Favourite food.
Sushi. Vegan.
Vegan sushi. Lovely. All right, let's ask you a little bit more about one of those answers, and I want to know why you love London so much.
I just love how vibrant it is. It feels like it's always on the pulse of the next big thing. The part of London where I live has got lots of green, open spaces. the people are cool, they're funky, they're edgy. It's just a great city. It's just a great city.
Fantastic. Well, it's been so good talking to you this morning, Kimberly. Just before you go, why don't you tell us how we can find out everything that you're up to, from your photography classes to your website to your Twitter and all your social media, please?
Yes, so the best platform to follow me on is Instagram, The Little Plantation. If you want to come to any of the food photography courses, just to spruce up your website or make your Instagram a little bit more attractive, just look at my events page. It's all written there. Or just drop me a line. And also, if you want to come to the Supper Club in April, there's still spots going for that too. So yeah, just email me.
Wonderful. We've had littleplantation.co.uk on the screen. I've just changed it, and now it's thelittleplantation.co.uk.
Yes.
So we'll make sure we put all the correct links there on the Facebook and on the YouTube page as well.
Thank you.
It's been so good speaking to you, Kimberly, this morning. Thank you for being on Sportuccino.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks for having me.